don't go into social work when you want to be a hot girl like all summer, because that hot girl's gonna run out of money. And when I mean hot girl, I mean like an independent hot girl. Do you know what I'm saying? Not like a hot girl like shout out to y'all though, because y'all really out here killing it, and we out here buying our own stuff. Hey everyone, I'm Janelle and welcome back to our channel. In today's channel, we're going to talk about whether or not you should get into the social work field. And the social work, you should major in social work for those of you who are thinking about it, those of you who want to, and those of you who are, you know, in the middle of it or thinking about going back to grad school for social work. Me, myself, I have a bachelor's in social work and a master's in social work. I'm licensed in the state of Pennsylvania. So I have quite a bit of experience studying social work and being in the field. I've been a social worker for 6 years outside of graduation and my undergrad, that is. And so I have quite a bit experience within this field, and I often get this question a lot on my TikTok. My TikTok is all about school social work, because that's what I'm doing now. And my Instagram is kind of just like a lifestyle. But on my TikTok, I usually get a lot of these questions about social work. Some people are like thinking about it and asking me like, hey, do you think I should go get my master's? Do you think I should continue in social work? And there's just so many, you know, questions that go around that. I do want to say, ultimately, whatever you decide to do, it's really up to you. My journey is my journey, your journey is your journey. And our experiences make up our life, in the sense of, like, you know, it creates our whys, and you really have to know your why, as far as why you are moving the way you're moving, going towards social work, or questioning if you want to do it. You know, like, listen to yourself, listen to what's going on inside of you, and trust yourself. Okay, with that. Now, I started in social work, again, like, I got out of high school and I loved people, and I worked with people a lot. I volunteered in my community a lot around that, and I knew I wanted to work directly with people, with systems, with communities. Because I knew that, I decided, at first I wanted to be a lawyer, and I always wanted to be a lawyer growing up. And then by the time I was in high school, then so I probably would have been a lawyer. But this is why you have to be careful with who you tell what to, because So I got into social work, and I love to talk a lot, I love to think a lot, I love to think critically. So the conversations within the major, it was intriguing to me, and I enjoyed it, and I enjoyed putting to work the things I learned. So the things that you should consider when going to social work, you have to consider I know everyone's personality is different, and I know that they say, we need all personalities in a field. I agree with that. But I really think that some people should really take in consideration your personality, the level of shyness you have. Do you feel comfortable talking to people? Do you feel comfortable? And while it's a skill that you can learn, you have to think about the energy it's going to take for you if you are a person who does not like to talk to people, and you don't like, you feel very overwhelmed and uncomfortable to talk to all kinds of people. You need to think about that before going to social work, because social work, you're going to be talking to all kinds of people that come from all kinds of backgrounds at some point in your career. And if you are not comfortable with that, and again, not even comfortable, because you could build that, but if it takes a lot of energy from you, you have to think about the quality of life that you want. You're going to be having that's going to be a lot of energy throughout the years. Okay, so I just think you have to consider that, what kind of personality do you have, or what takes energy for you. For me, when I talk to people, it gives me energy, so that wasn't a problem for me. It gave me a lot of energy. Now, you have to think about too, and when you're in school, it's different because you just see yourself as a problem solver. You see yourself as, you know, I'm going to come into a organization and solve all these problems, which that's great. That's beautiful. But you have to understand too, there's going to be a lot of problems that come into this organization. There's going to be a lot of people who are broken. Sorry, I had to empty out my memory card while I was recording. Like, it just stopped, so I had to empty that out. But like I was saying, you really have to think about that, because when you're in school, again, like, excitement of just being in school, you're happy, but you're hearing about this, but you're not really practically taking it in because you are not, you're just not, you know, you're not in it every day for 40 hours a week. Do you get what I'm saying? Again, and I'm not trying to make this video like a Debbie Downer. I think, you know, it's just, I just want you to know the realities of being a social worker. Okay, another thing to consider when you're thinking about being a social worker is, do you get like fulfillment from doing these kinds of things? A lot of people are like, wow, I love doing social work because it really fulfills you in a way that is like so rewarding, right? I had this professor in college, and I always thought that she was so sarcastic when she spoke, and I thought, like, why is she mad sarcastic? Like, and I felt like, is she trying to play the field? I didn't understand it, and now I get it. I get her now. I understand her. Thanks, sis. You were a real one, sis. We didn't know at the time, but you were a real one. And there's so many things that maybe this video should not be called like, are you considering me a social worker? Maybe it's like, take this into consideration when considering being a social worker. The fulfillment you get from being a social worker, that, it really depends on you and your life experiences. Because if you come from a place where you've experienced a lot of adversities, these things, yeah, they could be fulfilling because you're like, oh, I'm going to be that person that I needed. Yeah, that's beautiful. But if you do that over time, you might get into a place where you're like, okay, I'm exhausted from this. You know, like, I'm exhausted from doing the same thing over and over, and the internal reward isn't calculating to the financial reward, because we need both. And so these are, think about that. So yes, this is something that rewards you. Beautiful. Yeah, it does. Don't get me wrong. I go to work, and school social work is very different from any other social work I did. You still deal with, like, heaviness, but and again, you have these snippets of rewards that you feel internally. But overall, in the big picture and quality of life for yourself, not just for at work, is this really weighing out? Do you get what I'm saying? And that's something you have to consider. Another thing when it comes to social work, next, I should have wrote a list. I didn't. I'm just like talking because I really want to make this video, because this is kind of around things like, should you go get one? It's totally up to you, but I just think you should think about this. This is something I wish I would have thought about. When I was in school, I am a first generation college goer, okay? My family came from different countries. They came to America, and you going to college in general is such a big deal in my culture. And so I felt like, wow, like, I'm gonna be in, I didn't think to myself, what kind of life do I want to live? Like, what kind of life do I want for myself, and in the sense of how much is that going to cost, right? So if you want to live lavish, you should really think about getting a career that's going to help assist you in living lavish. Do you get what I'm saying? Don't go into social work when you want to be a hot girl like all summer, because that hot girl's going to run out of money. And when I mean hot girl, I mean like an independent hot girl. Do you get what I'm saying? Not like a hot girl like shout out to y'all though, because y'all really out here killing it, and we out here buying our own stuff. Anyway, no, I'm just playing. But you really have to think about those things, because that's something I did not think about. It did not cross my mind until until I was getting older, and I was like, man, like, this isn't working for me. This pay, especially because that you could be doing something else that will pay more. So think about the kind of lifestyle you want. Don't necessarily like think, yes, you have a lot of passions. Again, my one professor, she said, your job is not your life, it's how you pay for your life. And if you want a passion, a passion project, go get a passion project outside of work. Go do that. Go volunteer somewhere that is a cause and you volunteer for 5 hours a week. Go do that. But just know, you know, your job pays for your life. It's not your life. And she used to be so sarcastic again. And I used to think, why is she like that? Now I understand. So anyway, so yeah, so that's my thing. I think you have to understand that. I think you have to understand the energy is going to take. After the pandemic, I really think there was a big shift. Before the pandemic, I always thought, right, like I always thought, like, okay, this is cool. Okay, I was a director at a shelter, and it is what it is. I love mentoring people. I love, like, encouraging people. So supervising was great. Beautiful. However, post-pandemic, and in this space that we're in, social work is very different, and people are very exhausted and tired and traumatized, and the workers, we're tired. You know what I mean? Like think about these things when you're trying to go into social work. Right now you're in school. Right now you're debating whether you want to be in social work. Right now you're living your life. You know, you get to choose what path go down the path that's going to give you the best quality of life. I mean, I'm not saying don't do social work again, but I am saying is think about your own mental health. You need to think about that. If you're having, I'm not saying that you cannot be successful in the field. However, again, goes back to quality of life. If being stressed out, if a lot of if stressful situations, environments take a lot of energy from you for days at a time, and you're expected to deal with stressful situations every single day, is it the best for you? Are there different roads you can take in social work that's not micro? Absolutely. You can go into macro level. You can do meso. But even in those environments, you're going to need some kind of micro experience. Okay? You're going to need some kind of, and I'm talking to those people who want to work micro, want to work, you know, one-on-one. You want to work with people, like, every day, that dealing with their direct problems. Okay? Dealing with their direct situations. So think about that. Think about all those things before going in. Think about the pay. Research the pay. Research it. On my TikTok, I have so many social workers who's like, well, I live in this city and I make this much and I'm doing this and I'm doing that and all this stuff. And I'm like, yeah, but you're also been in the field for how many years? I'm sorry, I don't want to wait 20 years working before I start making good money. I also don't want to get into a job that I am crying every night because it's so stressful, but I'm making all this money. No, like, yes, work hard, and I'm going to, you know, yes, it's going to be hard work no matter where you're at. But in, like, taking on people's stressors, and again, like, I'm all big into boundaries, all that good stuff. I'm saying with these things in place because I think sometimes we hear that and we're like, oh, well, you're just not putting boundaries in place. No, we are, baby. We are. We are, babe. But I'm just saying, over time, is the time that you're investing into this field worth the quality of life that you have out of it? And that's what you have to think about. That is my suggestion to you with this video. Think about those things. Think about the kind of life that you want to live. And does the job that you want, does that pay, can you afford the life that you want? Just think about it, babe, because school ain't cheap. School ain't cheap. And yeah. So, and you can't get time back. So just think about that. Now, as far as me, I've been saying this for like the last year and a half, and it has not been an easy process, but it has been a nice process. One thing we do learn in social work is you trust the journey. You're gonna hear that catchphrase everywhere in every single class, but you want to trust the journey, and I'm trusting my journey. And I'm looking to transition. I'm looking into transitioning to research, which is something that I do enjoy, and I'm going to trust that journey and make my way there. Make my way there, y'all, because I'm done doing social work. It's time to work socially, okay? Actually working on pivoting out. It's something that I have been wanting for a while, and I've decided to now put a plan in place and to go that way. And so you can follow that journey with me. I'm gonna kind of do some here and on TikTok, just because these are the channels that I talk about this on. And I'm excited because I'm in those like beginning stages. I'm really just researching. I've been researching a lot as far as what it is I want to do, because I don't want this to be another experience where I get into investing so much time and efforts into a field and I'm not satisfied, in the sense of I already know the kind of lifestyle I want, and now I am moving towards a career path that can pay for the lifestyle, so, and give me good quality of life, obviously. And it's, you know, the energy is going to be worth it. My time, it's going to be good, because I know I'll enjoy it, and I know it's not going to take the kind of energy that social work is currently doing. So anyway, as always, I hope this was helpful, and I try to keep it as real as I can. And if you have, you know, if you want me to continue like a part 2 of this, I will. If you have any questions, again, I know some of you guys are studying for your LSW. I can post a video about that. If you're interested in me talking more about my journey pivoting out, I would love to talk about that, because I met a few social workers who they're like, what is going on here? No, we're not doing this. So I think, you know, if you want to hear more about that, I'd be more than happy to make a video about that. Please let me know in the comments. Again, my Instagram, TikTok, please connect with me there if you'd like. It's at Janelle Writes. And thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining me on this YouTube journey. I appreciate it. I have 200 subscribers, y'all. I'm so excited. So if you watched this video and you enjoyed it, please subscribe, ring the button, and comment below what you want to see more of, because I am hyped. So thank you so much. You guys have a beautiful, awesome day, and be amazing. Be you. Be fully you today.